If John Wick Chapter 4 represents cinema at its kinetic, adrenaline-pumping best, then Innis Men exists at the opposite end of the spectrum with its slow, haunting tale. But I absolutely love both films. They represent the wild cinematic diversity I adore. But Innis Men may only be in theaters this weekend before hitting streaming platforms, and the few theaters willing to show it have put up showtimes then pulled them, which proves how difficult it can be for indie films. But Innis Men deserves the sacredness of a cinema space to fully appreciate its transcendent qualities. Mark Jenkins' Innis Men has the trappings of a folk horror film, but then leaves those elements behind like layers of sedimentary rock for you to excavate later. It feels like a pandemic film in how isolated its main character is on a tiny, uninhabited Cornish island. That backdrop allows for much contemplation and for themes of loss and grief to emerge. But time is fluid here. You're never sure what's past, present, or future. They all exist on a strange plane that sometimes feels real, sometimes nightmarish, and sometimes poetic.
Do you like it here on your own?
I'm not on my own.
Shot on 16mm film stock, Innis Men itself feels lost in time and arrives like a found artifact. It's hypnotic and beguiling, with the visuals as compelling as the sound design. Its pace and deliberate ambiguity mean it's not for everyone. But if you want something unique and boldly original, then I urge you to seek this one out. And speaking of 16mm, Michael Aguirre of See It on 16 returns to Digital Gym Cinema on Saturday to share another one of his glorious 16mm film prints. He arrives with his own projector, sets up inside the micro cinema, and projects films like Night of the Living Dead. The projector noise may annoy some, but to me, it's a happy purr that reminds me I'm watching a piece of film that's been around for decades and traveled to different theaters before arriving here. Aguirre will share a secret Wes Craven movie. The title, likely a horror film, will only be revealed when it unspools off the projector on Saturday.
So I compare it to like listening to a record, like an original record. There's hiss, there's pops. It's not perfect, but that experience of seeing it on film on the big screen, it's a magical feeling that you really cannot get anywhere else these days. I truly believe that it's a special event anytime that film is able to be projected onto a big screen.
It's a wonderful reminder of how film is meant to be enjoyed as part of a community of strangers sitting in the dark and all reacting to a story being told. Just like people have been doing for centuries, but instead of the glow of a fire to gather around, we have flickering images on a screen to enthrall us. Thanks for watching. I'm Beth Accomando, KPBS Arts and Culture reporter, and I cover everything from opera to film reviews. So check out the playlist and subscribe. And thanks.